Class of 2027. If you're interested in breaking into consulting, then BCG's Summer Associate Internship is for you, and the application deadline is June 23rd. So before we get any further, if you're not graduating between December 2026 and July 2027, then this internship is not for you, but there are plenty of other jobs for you over at the Management Consulted job board. Check out the link in this episode's description to go straight to the job board. Second thing, before I dive into this internship, make sure to take 5 seconds to hit subscribe so that you get notified of our new content when it drops. Really appreciate you tuning in and engaging and also subscribing to Management Consulted. All right, so what the heck is this BCG Summer Associate Internship? Let's get into it. All right, I'm going to quickly share about this internship and go to the link in the description to check it out. It's a summer associate internship. You can see it on the Management Consultant job board where there's lots of amazing jobs, but today I'm specifically focusing on this one. So we can see a couple of details. Right up here, application deadline, June 23rd. You're also going to see a second deadline for September 3rd, but this is not when you want to be applying because BCG most likely is going to have all or most of its spots filled by September 3rd, so you do not want to wait, and you do not want to wait one day after June 23rd because the application will then roll over into the second cycle where your application won't be reviewed until September 3rd if there are any spots left. So ignore that, pretend like that does not exist, because we only want you focusing on the June 23rd deadline because that is your best chance to even be considered for an internship at BCG, which you can then parlay into a full-time role assuming you do well in the job. A salary, $110,000 a year. Obviously that's broken down over 10 weeks in the summer, so this internship will be happening summer 2026. Great, let's quickly come down here to who they're looking for. So undergraduate and non-MBA master's students, right? All fields of study, all backgrounds, et cetera, and graduating between December 2026 and July 2027. So again, like I said at the top of this episode, this is not for you if you do not fall in this range. If you're an MBA student, you will get rejected. If you're a PhD student, if you're a working professional, you will get rejected. So only apply if you meet this criteria. BCG means it when they say they do not want to hear from you for this specific role if you don't fit this criteria. They have plenty of other jobs open to you for other backgrounds. So make sure to check out the job board, jobs@managementconsultant.com for more jobs. A little bit more about the base salary, right? $110,000 split into the summer internship. And let's come up here to what you'll do for a sec. So you're going to work on a real case project at BCG's summer 2026. You're going to be put on a project, a case team. You're going to really get your hands dirty in Excel and PowerPoint. They'll train you up. You'll have fun happy hours and cocktail hours and some cool summer events. So it's really a great opportunity, right, to get your feet wet with consulting. And right, if you get into BCG, right, amazing firm, widely considered to be one of the top 3 consulting firms in the world. It just opens up some incredible doors for you when and if you decide to leave. Most people do end up leaving, within 2 to 4 years of going into consulting. Okay, I've shared a little bit about the job. I'm going to take one more minute to tell you how to put your best foot forward. So the first thing that you need to keep in mind is the networking and application process. So if you have not already spoken with people at BCG, you've not already networked with current folks at BCG, then do it today. Do it right now. Pull out your LinkedIn and your email and start reaching out because you do not want to cold apply to this role. You want to go in with a referral in hand, which means you got to speak to people at BCG, and specifically you want to speak to people who recently went through the summer internship program, to the summer associate internship, which is this exact role. So look on LinkedIn at BCG and people who went through this internship within the last 1 to 2 years. They're going to be the people who have a lot of influence in the recruiting process for this role. So speak to them. Start with warm connections, right? You've got a friend of a friend of a family, friend of a classmate, right? Those are the people you want to go to. All right, the warmer the connection, the more likely you are for them to put their hand up and say, hey, I talked to this person, liked him, let's bring him in for an interview, right? And so these referrals are an important part of the process. Don't spend all your time and energy on them, but definitely want you to put your best foot forward, and networking is part of the way that you do that. The last piece of this is just your resume. So it's got to be 1 page max, not 1 1/4 page, not 2 pages, not 3 pages. BCG just wants to read it 1 page. resume, it's going to have your education at the top, your experience, whether that's work experience or just leadership experience. Sometimes we put those into the same block when we're editing resumes. And then you'll have your personal section at the bottom, which is not negotiable. It needs to include your hobbies, your interests, something spicy, something that catches attention and can open up a conversation in your networking calls and in your future interviews as well. So do not skip that conversation. If you'd like to work with us on an edit, we can work with you. We've got an amazing team of MBB resume and cover letter editors who will work with you over just a couple of rounds to prepare your resume, help you put your best foot forward, work through every bullet point, and really optimize it for what BCG is looking for. And so if you want to get resume edits before the June 23rd application deadline, you will have to pay a $150 expedite fee for us to be able to get that to you before the deadline, but you can do so at the link in this episode's show notes. Just get the editing package. You'll see it all linked in the description for you to go. All right. Please reach out if you have any questions about recruiting at BCG, about applications, about networking. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you again soon.